Just talking? Well, what's the show about?
It's about nothing. It's about nothing.
Just want these guys to know you got another thing coming, bitch. I'm still around.
Alrighty then, boys. It's been a minute. 1 day late, as always. I mean, 3 days we didn't record. How was your weekends?
Hectic.
Busy. Yeah.
And that's why we're on a Monday recording and releasing Tuesday.
Yo, summer got busy, man. Everybody's out of their cave. COVID
is canceled.
it down. It's done now. Everybody is going to everything in big numbers, and it's fun.
Kind of want another lockdown just to bring life back to normal.
I feel like it's brewing. I do feel like it's brewing. There's been talk of people getting
Lockdown
sick at
number
a
4.
wedding and stuff like that. So not lockdown, but I think COVID's gonna make a comeback.
Robbie's feeling that
It's gonna be just like that. What is it? Who was that gangster Pasha Baines?
What?
Not Pasha Baines. The BC gangster, man. Fuck. Why am I dragging blank? This podcast is being done so late at night. I can't even think straight right now.
It's not that late.
But it's what?
late.
It's 11:05, bro. It's late for
Yeah,
me.
this is late for me.
Is it?
Bindi
Yeah,
Johal,
hell
not
yeah.
Pasha Baines. Bindi Johal.
Ooh,
You
one
thought I
second.
was.
1 second. Who is Pasha Baines?
Pasha Baines is a basketball player from BC. And
Oh,
Bindi
big
Johal is a
time
gangster from BC.
There we go. Always coming back.
All right? Full
All
circle.
names from BC.
All BC guys, all related. And Bindi Johal when he's like, and you thought I was done, motherfuckers.
I see. Okay, I get the reference
Right?
now. Yo, I
And
was
that's
at
COVID.
I was at a party. My sister-in-law got engaged, and I
Yeah,
had to do the.
Oh.
Thank you. I had to do the babysitting.
I thought this guy was about to say I was about to do the DJ, and I'm like, do you even know how to work a friggin'
Or MC. Or MC.
No, I had to take care of my kids for the first time. You know, wife's family.
Congratulations
So I
on
thought
parenting.
I was stepping up as a father, doing my duty. Man, worst
Duty.
worst experience ever with 2 kids. Man, it's hard. I never used to notice other parents. Now I'm like, man, I feel you. And I was thinking like I should just stayed home. I needed your
like-
service. I could have just live streamed it inside at home.
So you were
FaceTime. It would've
taking
been
care of the
fine.
kids at the hall. You were like in charge of the kids at the hall.
Yeah,
not at
yeah, yeah.
home.
Well, I wanted my wife to enjoy it. It was her
Okay.
family, obviously. So I said I'd take care of them, and I had
Her
a plan.
family. Her family. Oh,
See,
she doesn't listen.
see, I had a similar
My-
situation on the
my
weekend.
other- yeah. I'm gonna stick to my guns. Her family. And well, basically, what happened is, taking care of the kids, I made a decision to we'll go home early. But man, I did not anticipate. That's a lot of work. It is.
Do they
It's a
run
lot of work
around a
taking
lot?
kids at a hall. If you're at
Yeah,
home,
my-
you'd have
my-
home field advantage. That's what
Exactly.
I did.
My
I let my wife
daughter
go to
was.
the hall, and I kept them at home. I
Yeah,
said, I
my
got
daughter
this.
was my daughter was generally okay, running around doing her thing. My son was off the wall, man. He just turned 2, so it gives you a frame of reference, and he was all over,
Okay.
the couch or the stage, and running here, running there, crying, this and that. And then to be honest, with the loud music, it's not a good combination, right? So, he had seen the end of it, but I was thinking, man, if everybody has these like booths set up, right? Like they got the spinning camera, they got the photo booths in the back, they got a Golgappa stand. Why doesn't someone make like a daycare?
Or a cage.
No.
Like a
So,
cage, just like I'm like, here, take my money.
I was at
I need 10 minutes, just 10 minutes.
I was at a banquet hall party. This was pre-COVID, and the couple. I wasn't the couple organized it, but the couple's immediate family who had children were like they were serious parents. They weren't like So what they did was they had like a room set up in the hall at the far back corner.
Yeah.
And they had those baby. What the fuck? Why am I drawing a blank on this? Basically,
that
baby.
vessel.
Huh? I need that. I need something, man. I don't have any. I'm out. They had playpens set up. They had playpens set up for kids
That's pretty
in the
gangster.
back.
That's
And
cool.
so
That's cool.
once I found out about the playpen room, I'm like, yeah, I just brought my kid there, put him in for a little bit, hung out with the kids for a while, and I was like, this is a dope
Yeah,
thing. Why all halls should have this?
How sad are we? We're getting impressed by playpens in a
At a banquet hall?
in a room at a banquet hall. Like, yeah.
I just don't take my kid, man. I
Yeah.
won't.
Wait till you have 2, my friend. 2
No,
is
no.
different.
Yeah, but like your daughter's old enough, man. She can She
Oh
can
yeah,
chill
really?
out.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure she's well behaved. She's on her mother.
Oh yeah.
She went on her
Oh,
mother.
well, it was good, man. I was even thinking of ideas like, your kids in there, they all have like tag numbers, and you remember at restaurants when the buzzer goes off, like
It's
the
like
attendant just
IKEA.
buzzes you, like, yeah, you got to come back, get your kid. I'm like, all right, gotta go back. It'd be great, great service.
What you're talking about is
People would
like
pay.
it reminds me of IKEA. You know, you go to IKEA and they have like a
IKEA, yeah,
kids.
I would do
That's
it
what you got.
in a heartbeat.
Uh,
In a heartbeat.
I feel like that's a up and coming service. If only we knew people in the wedding business, we could pitch them this idea.
And why?
I think we know everybody in the wedding business. Crazy.
Weddings are insane. They just keep getting wilder and wilder. So, something I learned today. I learned about it this week, and then it made sense in like retrospect. Is in our day, back in my days, we had our maya. We had the night that our boys kind of came out right before the wedding. Nothing big. It wasn't even announced. It wasn't put on any cards. It's just like, yo, we're just hanging out at my house. Reach if you want. And then we had our wedding. And I
Hmm.
guess for some people they did a bachelor party, whatever. That was but the bachelor party was kind of like you didn't really announce again. It was just something you and your boys did. Now, do you guys know about the Jersey party?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Do you know
I
about it,
don't know
Robbie?
what. I'm old.
It's like before the Maya, you do a Jersey party where everyone comes rocking jerseys.
Any
And it's
jersey you
just
want.
yeah,
So
but
it's
it's
just
like a
it's just an. Wait, is it another excuse to
A goat
drink?
meat
I'm
party.
okay with
Yeah.
that.
it's a goat
Yeah.
meat
That's
party.
fine. Oh, that's cool. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
get it.
Pre goat meat party before the Maya, before the real formal goat meat
Just
parties.
another reason to get your boys together without their wives and families, and
No. I
you
mean,
know.
at this point, you shouldn't have boys. Most of your guys, I guess, there are most. Yeah, okay, fine, boys with wives.
What? What were you
Uh,
going? Where were you going with that? You shouldn't have boys that come out without their wives.
Me or him? You talking about
Him.
Me?
him?
No,
Oh,
I was
he's
Yeah.
saying
always.
most. I was trying to wonder. I'm like, how many of your boys are married at that point? I'm like, yeah, I guess they would be.
No, what I meant is like a boys' night. Like you get
It's a
together
boys'
with your
night.
boys, you make goat meat, you wear your jersey, ha ha ha, yeah, whatever. You're not like looking around and saying, "Oh, it's a family event. Come on, kids, let's wear your jerseys and
No,
let's
it's
go
like
to Uncle's
Doug
goat meat
Brown.
party." Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not know this was a thing. Blew my mind that this was actually. And then I started thinking, like, oh, that makes sense. Why so and so on their Instagram, everyone was wearing sports jersey. Oh, and then I'm like, this is actually a trend. This is what people do now. I
Yeah, it's been
felt
happening for the last few years. I've seen it during COVID too. Actually, it was
I
after my wedding.
yeah, I'm completely. I've never even seen it, so
yeah,
Yeah. I'm just
things.
happy we start sending you WhatsApp videos now, so you're not behind by 2 weeks.
But yo, isn't that too much money for a wedding? Like you just upped your alcohol consumption and like your dinner rate of like feeding people by an extra day. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's
that's when
also
you,
like it's not like high frills, meals. It's non and go, and a lot of booze, but it's literally non and go. It's half of it. The experience of making it is part of the experience. So
but Chinda, I mean, to be fair, you're trying to put a budget analysis on Indian weddings. That's your first mistake, and none of it
yeah,
makes sense. You know, none of it makes sense. So do whatever you want to, man. Have some fun.
down
Yeah.
payment money.
I mean, nowadays it's not even a down payment on a basement.
What?
Yeah. Mm.
Weddings hit six figures, right?
Yeah, weddings at
More,
six.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah, could be more. No, 7. Could I get there in our
hell,
No,
lifetime?
no.
I'm
I'm,
sure
I'm
like
sure someone has, but
Yeah.
no.
Beyonce,
No.
the brown Beyonce will do it. But yeah, that kind of blew my mind. So learning new things about weddings all the time, and then just trying to keep up with the Joneses and kids. And I'm old, man. Fuck. I also
Yeah,
realized that the people getting married now are the people who were born when I was finishing university. So that kind of throws me off too.
Yeah.
that's a huge
Right?
gap. Holy shit. Oh man.
Like holy shit. It's weird,
So
man.
Like, welcome
eh,
to Three Old Guys podcast.
I've been uh I've been noticing is the I guess the fashion style more toned down now after COVID at weddings and wedding events, or is it still like pretty peak? Everybody comes out
What do you mean
on
by fat?
fleek.
What do you mean? What do you mean
Like,
like?
is it more like I don't know? Before there was like a big thing of like having crazy glitzy suits and whatnot, but
I
is
think
it
it's
more
still
toned
there, man.
down? Yeah,
No, it's but I went to an engagement. It felt like a wedding,
is that because people were
right?
sitting on these clothes for a couple of years and didn't get to wear them?
like, yo, I got this. Got a backup.
Yo,
No, I don't know. No, I think it's the opposite. I think because they haven't had an event in a long time. Uh, more of a reason to get dressed up. But man, I hated it. I hate dressing up, man. I was like, want to get home and change into my t-shirt as soon as I could. So yeah, it's too much for me, man.
you know what I noticed? I'm in groups with young people talking about their weddings, and you guys are dropping all the suits. And I remember back in our day, getting custom tailored suits for your events was just becoming a thing now. People stopped going to Moors. Previous generation was Moors. Our generation was, all right, I got a tailor. I know Ranji's laughing because he's like, yo, I used to get, I have a Darji in India who used to do 12 suits for the price of one.
That's sick.
No,
Right.
not really. But
He's
yeah,
like, well, not 12, it was six, but let's keep it believable. I was in this group, and these guys are just dropping their tailors. Like, yo, I know this guy, I know this guy. Yo, don't try this guy. He ruined two of my suits. And I'm just
But
thinking,
it's
like, holy shit.
do their professions match? That they should be spending. Is it 1,200 now for a custom suit? Is that a fair?
No, but these guys
yeah.
are talking about getting like
But
suits done for $400
no, so
for
let me tell
customs.
you. Let me tell you
Oh,
what
is it? That's
a lot of
okay.
a lot of guys have popped up in the last like 5 to 7 years, and what they do is they'll take your measurements, they'll send it out to their guy in like Bangladesh, India, or Thailand.
Thailand, yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll mail over the suit, which they just adjust in house.
I
Okay,
mean, that's
so
what I did with Indochino.
The same
It's just
same
a
yeah,
concept.
same
Same
concept.
concept.
But
Same concept.
they do this thing called like pasting. It's
Okay.
fucking horrible.
what's that?
There's a canvas, okay, that the suit is made around. That so there's a canvas, and then you're supposed to stitch around it, okay, to make a suit
Yep.
proper. But instead of doing that, like the cheap hack to make this quick and painless and cheaper is just you have a canvas and you glue the fabric on, and then you
So it's
put it
literally
on.
pasting.
Yeah, it's pasting.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how these suits are being made cheaper, and they're all the same. Like all these guys that you talk about, they take on orders that they can't really satisfy because they're at the mercy of whoever's out in like Thailand, Bangladesh, and India, and their schedule. Right? They're not devoted to one person.
So they're not
Uh,
they're not actual tailors.
no, they're not tailors at all.
Yeah. If you put a piece of fabric in front of them, and it's not like was it Savile
They have
roll
a
or whatever,
spot.
Savile
They have a
roll or
spot.
whatever it is.
Seville
I see.
row. Yeah.
Yeah. So I forgot the name in London.
Yeah.
Like that's like tailors, right? So
Yeah.
um, I don't know, man. I can't bring myself to spend that much on a suit. I mean, people just drop. I don't wear
Uh,
them as much. I don't have that many events to go to, so maybe my perspective is different. But yeah, but girls, man, they're dropping like
I see what my wife spends on suits. It's
yeah,
okay. Guys.
and only gonna wear it once, only once,
That's
because
the weird thing
it's
about girl suits is you can't wear them twice. But yo, what's your opinion on suits? Should everyone have to wear a suit? Like not Punjabi suit. I'm talking about if you are a lawyer, do you have to wear a suit these days?
Well, you have to when you go to court. It's actually a rule. Um,
Really?
well, it
well, I
used to
mean,
be worse. It used to be more hectic than that. You had to wear robes.
All right.
There you go.
There we go. No, but there was I don't know if you guys knew about this guy. There was a city councilor who decided, you know what, fuck the suit, and he showed up casually to city council. And he's like, wearing a suit, wearing flip flops doesn't really impede my ability to like pass laws and listen to his constituent complaints. And then his his fellow councilors try to like shame him and pass a rule that you had to wear suits when working in council chambers and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
there is a degree of professionalism that you need to bring to your job, and if I mean, you might not think so, but if I showed up in flip flops and a tank top, and you wouldn't want to come to me, I mean, that's just the truth,
No, it's
right?
not.
Come on.
If
You think
you
any?
if
there's
you,
a
as long
level
as
of
you're clean
decorum.
and you're
Okay,
not,
here's a simple question: why do you wear a suit to a wedding?
I don't.
No, people do. Let's just there's a standard of
And you do wear
there's
a suit
a
for a wedding,
yeah, you do wear a
I mean,
suit.
I wear dress pants and stuff just because
just like you
Why?
wear like
Why don't you wear
cholas
shorts?
to
I would
religious
Yeah.
love to
events.
wear. I would love to be able to just walk everywhere in shorts. I go.
But why don't you? That's the question. The question you posed. Why don't you?
Why I wish we could. I don't because of societal pressure. And now I guess what I'm arguing is, should that societal pressure exist?
There's a question. Yes, it should exist. It's
Yo,
a
it's
routine. It
for the
keeps
same
standards.
reason. For the same reason,
Yeah.
there's some level of decorum that certain places
Hmm.
demand. Okay, um, if it's out of respect or out of tradition, you can pick which one you're going to adhere to. But wearing a suit to, city council, if that's your position, or a suit to the office, or a chola to the gurdwara, it's all with the same underlying principle. Like, why would you? There's people who are crazy about Bana who will always wear it, no matter what. It's the same underlying principle. There's some decorum, respect you associate with, um, something you respect, and you show that respect by how you dress.
It's like that's one way to look at it. Yeah, I can agree to some of that.
I
It's a
guess
physical
I've,
it's a physical manifestation of your respect. So if you come looking like a bum to your job where you're supposed to represent people and be an integral key part of democracy, a core foundation of our society, well, then wear a fucking suit.
look at this guy going full litigator, dropping the inflection.
Yes.
Uh,
Shinda's like I just want to wear shorts.
Yeah.
look, I've been blessed enough that the field that I chose, it's kind of like, oh no. I remember wearing a suit to one of my job interviews early on in my career, and then people laughed at me like, bro, you're overdressed. I was like, oh, okay. And then learning quickly,
Yeah,
like, oh,
but
the culture.
but I mean, one thing, you're not really a. I mean, you do have meetings, but your job doesn't entail you being face to face constantly, or being in the public. Technically, your work is your work. You do your work on the computer, and that's fine. You might have a meeting here or two. I mean, but there's a reason why even on Zoom calls people dress up, right? Maybe
They
only
put on
from
a
the top
jacket.
down.
Bro,
Maybe just from the top down, but they're still dressed up, right? So, um,
if a guy in shorts and a wife beater who happens to be a doctor walks up to you and says, "Yeah, bro, you have cancer. So you got 6 months." You're gonna get a second fucking opinion. If a guy in a white suit or a white jacket is standing right next to him and he disagrees, you're gonna fucking believe him. The guy in the fucking white beater might be more qualified, but you're gonna believe the guy in the fucking white
and
lab coat.
I have experienced that personally. Like I've gone too casual, so maybe like a golf shirt, and I do get a different reaction if I'm wearing a tie or a little bit more formal. People do take you more seriously. Now, is that right or wrong? Fine, that surely you can argue, but it has been ingrained into our mindset through our programming from the past that we do equate professionalism with the way you look. So it is what it is. But yeah, you should look. He was ridiculous. That guy. He looked like he was going to the beach. All right. If you're wearing like a polo and some jeans, fine. You can argue that, but
What
yeah.
if he was representing a beach's riding? Like the riding was on the beach.
He's
I don't know if
still
he was
not
in this
at the
thing.
beach when he's at fucking city council though.
I mean, I got him. I'm down with this counselor, man. I'm like, yo, just wear what you want, be comfortable. As long as you get the job done, who gives a shit
Yeah.
what you?
I mean,
So,
but
by the same token, then the fucking MP from fucking Nunavut should show up in a parka, right? And be sitting in the House of Commons with fucking gloves on and a parka, and then fucking saying and talking.
Hold on.
No, come on, let's. It's silly
Why are you forcing them to wear parka? What type of racism is this?
because he's in a fucking cold climate.
Yeah, but he's choosing not to. He's choosing to dress however he wants to dress. If he chose that he wanted to come in parka and moose knuckle jacket, I mean, go ahead.
I was talking
I,
about just
I,
the regular parkas that you see on fucking anywhere in Canada.
I, I think there's a distinct difference. Look, there is this whole, like, I guess you want to call it tech field. The guys like Steve Jobs and other guys, they wear kind of what they want. Mark Cubans, they're not wearing suits and stuff like non-traditional. I mean, that's a different type of sector. But in my public sector, police officers, fine doctors, or whatever other professional it might be, lawyers, yeah, I don't want them looking like they're on vacation and they still haven't got off it. Like it's just the way you look does scream how professional you are. And unfortunate as it is, you could be the best politician in the world. Doesn't matter, right? It's just what it is. So you got to
Jacking
dress up, Shinda. Sorry.
business casual, not I rolled out of bed and showed up to work.
I put a hat on. That was a picture. A weekend bug, as they call it. I mean, I show up to the podcast dressed in like this, but I'm gonna say, I was supposed to be at a Jersey party. I opted to act my age and do a podcast instead.
Fair enough. And I was on Peloton.
Were you? Oh yeah.
No.
No, you just have the
Hold
shirt
on. Hold on. Is that a black shirt?
Yes.
and a black hat.
Black hat.
Black hat. Wow,
Like
your
pitch
camera
black.
is messed up, man. All right,
Yeah.
moving on to professionalism. Talking about professionalism. Not recently, but last week while we were shit in the bed, not recording a podcast, the city of Toronto said that 6 security guards aren't professional because of their beards and they need to cover up. Actually, they used the COVID policy saying
COVID. Due to
COVID.
due to yeah,
They
due
need
to the
a
lack of
firm-fitting mask.
due to their beard, they were not able to form a protective seal with an N95 mask. Therefore, they could be at a risk if there is a outbreak, in particular to COVID, thereby deeming them to be not capable to work unless they shave. And if they were keeping their beard, then they would obviously, which they tried to, was fire them. This was the
And
city of Toronto, right?
so the
City of
city of
Toronto.
Toronto passed it on to their vendors, who they give their contractors, who they hire out for security. The contractors said, "Listen, the city of Toronto contract means too much for us. Y'all out. And if we can't, unless you, we'll try to get you other jobs. If we can't, it is what it is. Peace." As soon as this got reported to the WSO was like, "Hey, y'all remember us?" And city of Toronto was like, "Oh shit. Yeah, that's totally not true. Whoever said that misinterpreted what we wrote. Let's, quickly, they hit that edit undo button real quick. They passed the memo on to their contractor saying, bro, that's not what we meant. Tell WSO you're lying. And that shit got undone real fast. The city said, we're sorry, we're going to rehire all those people. Every MP, including PP, stood on the thing and said, that's stupid. Everyone agreed. It was a universal win. It was such an easy open and shut thing. Only people holding the mud there was the city, who the contractor said, it's the city who told us this. The city saying, nah, man, the contractors misinterpreted this. Rehire those security guards right now. Thoughts?
So I guess like it's done. It was over, pretty quickly. And my real question is how the fuck does this policy come around in 2022? Like that in itself is the real conundrum. Like, fine, yeah, obviously this is something that would get destroyed right away as soon as it hit the media, which WSO, was smart to make sure it got out there. I mean, I'm assuming they did. I don't know if they actually did, but just presumption. Regardless, what the fuck was whoever the bureaucrat was in City Hall thinking that this was okay? It was so out of the way to make such a policy that there has to be a story behind it. Someone literally out of the way to piss
Yeah.
off a lot of people,
Yeah.
knowing it
I,
would
I
cause a huge backlash. And I just want to know what the fucking goal is.
I mean, I would agree with the sentiments. I mean, things like this don't get passed by one person. It's gone through many levels. It's not like it was one set of eyes that made the decision. It's always gone through approval. But yeah, I mean, and at the timing of it, I mean, we just announced that we got to get rid of masks, and this whole policy is based on a mask. And I think it was the timing even more so. If it's the start of COVID, sure, we can publicly have an argument. Now, really, and everything we know with COVID and transmission, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I share your sentiments as well. How did it even get this far before someone said, "Hey, let's pump the brakes. Let's take a look. This doesn't sound right," And even the security companies, it's not like they kicked up a storm either and said, "Hey, we can't do this to our employees. This needs to be looked at." They just proceeded to fire them, which is weird.
Well, the
So
security company's a fucking capitalist fucking entity, right? Who
I
gives a
know, but
shit?
it's
I'm not
still
gonna hold them to the fucking moral high
no,
ground.
no. But I mean, as it got so far that someone didn't say, "Hey, let's take a second and breathe and take a look what the hell's going on." But that's a big L for Toronto, Toronto City Council, or
It, it,
whoever it is.
it's they really just walked into a store, bought a gun to shoot themselves.
Yeah,
They paid went to great pains, is what I'm trying to say, to do something wrong. It's not like it was a slip or
You
just
think
a
it was just you think it
miscalculation.
was just one rogue like worker who's just pissed off at
Yeah, I think
company
someone
and just
took
said
the
like
girl,
I'm
and
gonna do
then
this. Yeah.
yeah, it must have been something crazy like that. Like it has to have been. There's no other way to make any sense of this because, like, what doctors who are fucking in the hospital,
Yeah.
like treating this infectious disease. No one gives a fuck about them, but security guards at the
Yeah.
fucking I don't know whatever city building they can't
I
work
hope
because massive security. So,
have they indicated that they are going to have some kind of inquiry into how this actually got formulated or why it progressed to the level it did? Are they is anyone gonna? Do you think the city's gonna turn around and say, "Oh, we're gonna do an investigation"? Do you think that's
Nah,
gonna happen?
it was such a edit undo. We're sorry, we don't know who did this. Every politician from the top down was like, "What? Hold on, what did we
It's
just
a
pass? Hold on."
it's a Spider-Man cartoon. Everyone's pointing at one another.
Like,
You,
so one thing about politics, a lot of people, I think, the politician at the top a lot of times doesn't know what's getting passed. He's just like, "All right, this is what we need broad strokes on. Get this done." A million things happen in between. And like John Tory, I don't think John Tory saw this and was like, "Yeah, man, that's John Tory." Like, hold on, what did we just do?
yeah.
What? What did I just vote on? Oh no, no,
I
no,
don't.
no,
John Tory's not a stupid person. Like
no, no. They're not stupid
you listen
people,
to him.
but
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Uh,
stuff that happens that gets passed, that gets done, that you trust your staff, that or everyone around you, that it's they're going to be wiser to it. Oh, and now we lost Franchi. But the fact that this is the thing that kind of got through, I think, and the reaction from these politicians was, hold up, what just happened? Uh,
yeah.
it kind of surprised me that it got through. Who helped get it through? I don't know. Should we have an inquiry? I'd love to know which Patel signed off on this sometimes. Right? Like, so, this is where my head goes.
Just slipping the name in it.
Yeah, look, a lot of times, I'm saying this more from experience, not just trying to be all. I mean, I am drawing a general brush. In the city of Brampton, when the Sikhs were trying to pass a Sikh program on educating teachers and like giving them the resources for, how to deal with Sikh students, what their history is. Here's some modules you can read and like learn more about Sikhi. A lot of backlash came from internal, very Brahmanistic teachers who were kind of like, no, it's all Indian. We shouldn't have the Sikh one. We should just have the general Indian one. And then luckily at that time we had Sikh counselors and Sikh teachers inside the board who really fought for it, saying, no, 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 this is a very Sikh student oriented education that we need to focus on because there are Sikh students who are not covered by a general Indian syllabus or Indian modules. Here's what we need. Harkirat Singh, who was a trustee at the time, doing the one thing I didn't, I'm like, oh, a trustee actually did something. I don't know what trustees do, but he, as a trustee, was able to help get this Sikh module introduced and implemented. And they were just like, yeah, there was a lot of backlash internally by, these counselor type peoples. So
I mean,
that's where my
I'm,
this thing getting
that
passed
sucks.
by Toronto, getting passed in downtown Toronto, getting 6 security guards fired or making a fuss. I'm like, my first reaction is, who in the consulate helped push for this?
So I mean, that's interesting with the school thing. In the school thing, I don't think there should be any religion in schools. What do you guys think that's
like
like I
no
don't think there
religion
should
class.
nothing. Zero.
Like you should
Just
pretend like religions don't exist and
no,
the
no,
kids
no, no, no,
not be
no.
taught they should
I
not
don't mean
exist.
like that. I just don't think you need to learn about them. I mean, we only had I'm from high school. I remember the first time we actually a religion course was in high school. It was like grade 10 or something like that. We never
Yeah,
talked about religion in all elementary. It never came up. Not once. I mean,
yeah.
Christmas, not as a religious thing, but as a reindeer and Santa Claus, but not in the essence of actually studying religions. I never studied religions when I was a kid. Did you guys?
Well,
I don't.
I
We
took that same grade 10
no,
class
no.
that
But
you
prior to was
no.
did you guys? No,
so this
I just
isn't so much even about teaching religion or teaching the Sikh
yeah.
religion to students. It's a resource for teachers to understand Sikh
Oh,
students,
okay.
right?
Sorry,
So it's
I
not.
misheard that. Okay,
So this isn't a
all right.
module to, hey, let's help you educate your students on what's Sikhi is.
It's helping
It's
educate the teacher. Okay. No, yeah.
it's
Okay.
listen, you
Yeah.
have 6 students. Here's something to learn about their faith a little bit and deal with what they might be going through or who they are. Here's why they keep their hair. Here's all these things so that you don't embarrass yourself in front of your student asking them dumb questions,
And why
right?
would anyone want to say no? See, that's yeah.
So yeah, there was
That
actual
yeah.
pushback of this. It was,
That's strange. Yeah, that's strange.
and so that's why I say, which person influenced this decision to bar Sikh employees. I saw some anti-vaxxers, pro, more conspiracy type saying, well, this is what all you Sikh organizations fought for when you were banning, implementing your COVID rules and saying implementing your Gurdwara vaccination camps. This was you guys brought it on upon yourself. Like, man, no, this is a whole different world.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go on a limb and say instead of this is some big RSS conspiracy, or some government attempt to like attack the faith, or the faith group. I think it was just some dude who was pissed off.
That he got
It
strip
was,
searched by a guy with a
Yeah.
beard.
yeah, yeah,
A recent driver in Brampton, and he had a bad experience.
exactly,
He's like,
exactly.
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna
show
get
these
you.
guys. I'm gonna show,
What's
or
cool?
maybe a security guard. Maybe a security got on the wrong side of a security guard. Who knows, right?
What's cool is when I was at the Jays game a few weeks ago. All the security guards working security were up and A. I thought that was pretty dope. I saw like Singh and the Malla.
Downtown,
I went to BMO
it's all up
Field.
and
All Singhs running security.
I
I was like,
keep
yo, you
keep
guys.
talking about it every week, but I'm telling you, man, we've taken over. Anytime I'm getting on or off the gardener, all you see is like the support farmers fucking stickers
A
on every single
sticker. Yeah,
car.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was in Niagara Falls yesterday. Holy moly, immigration! Man, I've never seen that many
Holy moly,
brown.
immigration!
I- I've never seen that many
Falls where you
light,
really see it because we grew up going there,
and it's only
and
Gora.
now yeah.
Now it's like I was like, oh my goodness,
Now
what
like
is?
oh there's a Gora. Oh look there's a Gora.
It's
Yeah.
The plan has worked.
it was it was a shock to the senses, and yeah, man, I no, I haven't experienced anything like that in a long time. I was shocked.
I'm going this weekend. I'm excited.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Man, moving on. I don't know if you guys saw this video go viral. Some people are saying that it's the thing, but basically, Delhi police or state police are like, we caught the killers of Sidhu Moosewala, and here's videos that we confiscated from their phone of them like going to the shooting, kind of amping themselves up, flexing their guns, um, and obviously that video gets leaked, and then you get that's a little convenient. Are you pinning this murder on these people? Who are these guys? We don't know. So yeah, what were your thoughts on that video getting leaked?
I don't really know what to make sense of it. It just looks like a bunch of kids posing with a bunch of guns, and bullets. Kids here at that age, if they had access to guns and bullets like that, they would probably pose and pretend like they're gangsters too, right? So, what did they really prove? It's like nothing. And this is India, which goes on a witch hunt because they feel this pressure to, the police there feel this pressure to satiate the public demand for justice. So, you know, every day you hear about some guy who gets locked up for almost nothing. Who knows? Maybe these guys are the assholes that fucking took out Sidhu and then, fuck them. But they could just be, Garib Kar De Munde, poor kids, and they had the unfortunate, experience of dealing with the cops now because they made some videos thinking they were cool and they sent it to their friends, and then finger got pointed at them.
You think they're the killers? You think they got the guys, or do you think
I
it's a setup?
Who
I'll
knows?
never fully be satisfied unless I see a video of some guy shooting him, and he's the same guy who's, in front of me on the pulpit in the courthouse, admitting to the murder. And this is
Rob,
all circumstantial bullshit. I have no idea who actually did it.
Robbie, final thoughts on that, or
I'm on the same place. I honestly haven't looked too much into it since the shooting, but I mean, to conclusively say that they've found the killers, I mean, will we really know who was behind it, and unless they come out and fully admit it? Um, yeah, I mean, it's just sad, man. You know what it makes me think though? Pins should really invest in CCTV.
They do,
You know?
man. There's CCTV footage
Yeah. No,
of
none of the shooting. They saw the car going by.
yeah. I
But like
mean,
really, yeah. What I mean is really invest.
like every
From a
single
pin.
corner.
Isn't that no different than like us putting up cameras everywhere in Brampton?
Yeah, that's everybody puts a camera on a house, right? How hard could it be? I mean, and surely it's cheaper in India as well, right? To get that tech.
Yo, but come on, like
No,
I'm.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I can see a reason for a smaller pin to want to do something like that and be more secure. They could do it. I mean, not
Well,
every corner. I
okay.
mean, you know what I mean.
I'm
Like, I
talking.
mean, just
Well, I took you
more
literally
than the.
because most many houses there will have CCTVs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's pretty normal,
yeah.
but not every single house and not every single corner has a camera.
But
Um,
do you think it would deter a lot of the crime, as it has in
no,
other countries? No.
cameras don't deter shit here. People
Yeah.
steal
What
cars
about
on
England?
camera.
Yeah.
In England, they kind of do, though. I mean,
I
people
don't
get
think
caught in
they access.
CCTV. No,
I heard
I
it
would
doesn't.
say so.
I heard
Okay,
from the trade-off, it doesn't really.
I think England's a little different, or let's say China, where there are literally cameras
That's what
everywhere.
I mean. Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
mean.
and it's a police state because of that,
Fair enough.
where they can track your movement from the time you step out the door to the time you committed your crime and went back to wherever. Okay, so
Yeah,
in that sense, if you're gonna go all that way, then that's a whole other story. Us in Canada, North America, when we have like camera doorbells and maybe the odd camera in front of the house, like that does fuck all,
yeah, that's true.
I
right?
mean,
Fair
we get
enough.
a half our good WhatsApp videos because of those cameras, though. What do you mean they do fuck all?
But like they don't lead
Entertainment.
to convictions and incarceration or the recovery of stolen goods um, or murders. It doesn't equate to that or equal to that. Here and there, it might lead if the crime is
Unless, it,
serious
unless it,
enough, the
unless,
cops will
unless it.
investigate it, right? Like they're not going to investigate a fucking
But if,
burglary.
but if you start having series of convictions based on that footage, that itself wouldn't that be kind of a deterrent
Deterred?
for him actually doing the crime? If it was more commonplace that and someone could just very well, you might get caught on camera, and that kind of seals the deal, if you will, in terms of your future and conviction. I mean, that's the way I would like fingerprints. I mean, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, just wear
DNA
your
and DNA
COVID
is
mask, wear your COVID mask, and go commit a crime, and you're fine.
yeah, fair enough, fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah,
I like how we
unless you're a security guard in Toronto.
This is an interesting tangent we found ourselves on from like, here's a footage of Sidhu Moosewala to we should all have just CCTV monitoring everyone.
Tis the podcast, my friend. Tis the podcast.
That's quite the tangent this time. Um, I've been on Instagram so much lately, and I've completely gone down like fatherhood, Insta reels, like just dads. I feel like I really find the funny
So
ones,
so much
right?
so that you're sending it to all of us as well, and we've
Yeah,
realized that you're doing that as well.
I send you the private ones, but I think I get the good ones. I save you guys the hassle of looking through them. I find the ones
Fair
that make
enough.
me chuckle. I usually get a good response from them. I don't know if you guys seen the real estate ones though. Have you gone down real estate
All day,
TikTok and
man.
real estate?
My last
Yo,
6 months.
some of these are cringe. There's one that you shared, Shinde, and I sent it to a buddy of mine who's a realtor out in BC. And I sent him a message like, LOL, don't ever do this, right? And he's like, hey, look, you're sending it to me, you're sharing it.
It
He's
works.
getting out of there. Yeah, I mean,
So
fine. If
what was in the video itself?
it was
What
just
was it?
really, really bad dancing and really, really cheesy dialogue.
Here, shut the video for us. Come on. So, for those who obviously don't have the video handy, and I don't know if I can superimpose it on us, uh, Google Blippy outsourcing his fuckery these days. We probably retweeted it from our Twitter account, but basically, I think he was an Indian real estate agent. That on top of things that kind of made it a little bit more cringy for me. Uh, and he's just walking. He's like, "Is the market hot? Balle balle," and he do a little dance move. Switch over to a stat. and then look at the prices you can get, and then he's just doing all these like Fortnite dance moves, and it was the wildest thing, man. I was just
Hey,
like, whoa.
Punjabi, he was.
I mean, to be fair, we now are promoting him on the podcast. So
That's true.
to
I
the
mean, we
three
don't know his
listeners,
name,
to our three
but
listeners,
We're
check him
gonna
out.
share it, so
but bro, I've seen some really cringe shit out there. There was the one guy who got really popular. He was like, "What day is it? It's fucking Friday, and I'm gonna close a deal today because I'm a hustler." And that's what you need to do. You need to get your basements up. You need to get your investment properties going. And if you don't know how, call me. I will help you figure it out. I was like, this guy's energy is toxic, toxically. This guy's got energy. This guy sounds like a fudu though. I'm like so anti hustle cultures to a point though. Like, but this guy was just like,
No, hustle culture is okay when everyone's winning,
hmm.
right? Now let's see what these videos turn into when the market obviously is taking a downturn. My best is the 23-year-olds giving life advice and business advice. And I think I sent you guys. The guy's like, "Yeah, you should
yeah.
buy yourself that Ferrari. You should buy yourself that Porsche." I'm like, this kid is so out to lunch and what a normal person lives their life like, but that's what they think success is, right? So few good house closings. They made a couple hundred grand, and
Yeah,
that's it, man. They're
businessman.
businessman, business.
The real estate ones are really funny right now because there's like such opposite views that you get hit with. Like, don't believe the fake news. Now our market's just as hot as it was in February. It's different. You need a realtor who knows the difference. Call me, Vivek
Honestly,
Sharma.
I feel I feel like it's like spoiled food at a restaurant, and they've been caught, and now everyone's like, no, our food's still really tasty. It's still the freshest food you can find. But it's like the whole world knows, no, it's expired. It's been a few weeks old, and look, they're salesmen. They have to do this song and dance, and they're gonna try to,
But
unfortunately,
it is literally now a song and dance.
it is a song and dance, right? And an unfortunate. The unfortunate truth is that it doesn't. There are people who do rely on these professionals for sound advice. So in times like this, when there is a downturn, um, where you just hear buy, it's always going up. Give them some sound advice. And if you can't, stop acting like a financial genius, businessman, know it all, and yeah, my what irks me the most is like, why do they always have to show how wealthy they are? Have we not got past this in sales culture? Like, the guy walks in the room, he's dressed to the nines, and he has like a Rolex. Do we think he's like the best salesman? Is that, do you guys
Hold up,
perceive it that
hold
way?
up, hold up, hold up. Going back to an earlier conversation we had, didn't we just
Yeah,
talk
no,
about
no,
that
no,
doctor in the
no.
white
That's
coat?
that's
That's
a,
the thing.
that's a suit, not like showing. Like I'm talking about like really bragging.
Do you trust
Body.
a
He's talking
realtor
about
with a Rolex or a realtor with no watch on?
I trust a guy who's straight talk,
straight talk.
normal
Yeah,
straight talk. I don't want the whole, hey man,
So hold on.
car.
look at my car.
You
So
can ride my
y'all
Benz.
want someone with substance, not one of these showmen.
Depending on the profession, yeah. Depending on the profession, it changes what I want. And a realtor that's really trying to charm me with how much money he made, um, I think it's like yeah, a smoke show, smoke and
Are we,
mirrors. He's what he's
what I
trying to
was getting
sell.
at, I was just getting at, are we old enough that we read through that BS? It's
I think
BS.
I'm there now.
So
Like,
hold on. A realtor in flip flops shows up,
oh
gives you
God,
sound advice, versus a realtor in a suit and a Rolex who gives you bad advice. Which one are you trusting? Because I feel
neither.
like
I'm gonna go find the guy who
Yeah.
doesn't do either. I need the middle.
Yeah, I would probably. I agree with Robbie. I would be like, okay, both these guys are whack. Let me find
They're
someone normal.
bad choices. I gotta find
I'll
something
t-
better.
I'll take the polo shirt and jeans.
Actually, it's a bad sign. So I know of some realtors. They're on vacation right now. They've been
the
gone for
smart
two
ones,
months.
the smart realtors are on vacation.
And then when you see that, you're like, wait, summertime, you're taking vacations? Oh, that's a real sign that things aren't going too well, right? So
Or
You
that
know
you're
what?
a good realtor.
This time will
no,
actually
no, no,
weed out.
they've made their money. You could just tell
Yeah.
it's not worth their time, right? So
This time will really weed out a lot of people who got on the market just thinking like, I'll get a listing and it'll sell itself, and I'll make some commission off it, right? So I mean, look, we talk about this smoke show that people are selling, but at least they're trying to keep their job and doing something, right?
Fair enough,
There's a
that's a good
lot of
point. Yeah.
people that are just gonna transition to a new job and they'll never come back. Um, and this time will really show who's like an actual good agent and who's actually shit.
This is actually raised a
So
good point though. Like we're talking about literal song and dance and who's good and who's wrong. If a professional, so we've kind of talked about professionals in their suits and stuff. What about a professional who's active on social media and trying to embrace social media trends? Does that change your opinion on that professional?
Depends. What do you mean by trends?
like like if you're a politician making TikToks.
Politician making TikToks,
Well, you as
lawyers
a
making
politician,
TikToks.
you as a politician, not taking you seriously. If you're a lawyer and you have time to make TikToks, that defines itself.
Yeah.
If you're making kind of like, like actual advice, I'm sorry, I'm not on TikTok, but
You're on Instagram
if you're
Reels,
if
same shit.
yeah, but if it's actual advice and someone just being informative, I mean, I don't, that's not cringe to me. Like it's actual good advice, but not the
Making
song
a
and
rap
dance, right?
about like your
No,
services.
that yeah, but that you
Yeah.
have too much time, right?
Yeah.
That's
What about them doing like lip syncing trends or whatever?
yeah, let them live. Who cares? It's just like, if they're hoping to get clients out of it, I don't think they are. It's
Yeah,
more,
if you're doing it on your personal account, that's one
yeah,
story,
it's
right? Like I
okay.
do a lot
Yeah.
of dumb shit too, but if it was a professional account, no way. Like I wanna have an air of respectability or I wanna have some confidence. I wanna give my clients some confidence that I'm not a joke. You know?
And how's that
You're,
going for you?
no, you want to
It works
present
okay.
yourself.
Uh,
You want to present yourself as competent. That's the key thing. It's when you lose that,
Yeah.
that's when you've lost your customer, client, patient, whatever you want to call it. But
But it really
yeah,
depends on the profession, man.
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
like I've seen some pretty cool lawyer Instagram accounts where it's
No,
like
you
the
haven't.
crack cocaine lawyer or uh, I don't know the cocaine lawyer. Have you seen these guys where they're just talking about all the money that they've like how much like they'll show like all the evidence that was against their client and like got him off.
You
I
see
mean,
that a lot in like
but
PI.
but that's typically their advertising to their potential clientele, right?
Or
I
I got
mean,
my client like a $2 million settlement off their slip and fall or some shit like that. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
just different.
their marketing. That's a little
Yeah,
different.
it's their
Yeah.
market's different, right? So yeah, let them live.
Fair enough. All right, talking about letting people live. It's just the Conservative Party not letting Brown live.
Good segue.
No, okay, so just to add some story in backwater, what?
Backwater.
Add some backstory and color to what we're talking about. Patrick Brown was removed as a candidate from the Conservative Party of Canada leadership race past Sunday.
Shutti deti. Shutti.
Yeah,
He
they
was
said
given the shutti.
there was a secret meeting that was held, unbeknownst to Patrick Brown and his campaign, that this meeting was happening. They found out about it through the media. That a meeting was had. He was removed, and subsequently there is no appeal process. It wasn't a unanimous decision, and they aren't releasing all the details of what happened. And this was Sunday. Come Wednesday, we find out that Miss Debbie Walters, whatever her name was, man, I'm drawing a blank there a little bit. She came out and said, "Hey, I'm the one who provided the Conservative Party the information that and the text messages that Patrick Brown's corrupt. I worked on his campaign. Here's messages of him saying, hey, you can get paid by a private corporation and then have them let you volunteer and work on my campaign." And she's like, that's shady as hell. Here's the text messages. Get him out of here. Yeah, and the Conservative Party are just like, yeah, peace. We don't really have an appeal process. Patrick Brown said, yo, we're going to fight this. We're going to try to appeal this. Hired Mary Heenan, one of the top litigators and a really popular lawyer. I don't know if she's a really good lawyer, but a really popular high-profile lawyer to
Scary.
take,
It's scary.
to take on his case.
I would be scared. Um, yeah, look, my view. Firstly, it's a bad look for the Conservative Party, no? I mean, you have this. You want to take this motion. Surely you could have called him in and say, look, here's what's on the table. It's probably better you bow out. and swing your support whichever way you want to go, and save us the embarrassment and your embarrassment, and we can continue to push forward to the election. But just maybe he wasn't in tune with, or maybe he didn't want that. But I mean, what was the party thinking? Forget if it was right or wrong, but to cloak and dagger it, um, it's throwing everything into chaos, right? Just I don't know. It's not a good look for the party, which is very strange. That's Patrick Brown doing something shady. I mean, all politicians. I mean, are we
Yeah.
surprised? But the way they handled that's my surprise, is the handling of this precarious situation, if you will. Yeah,
I mean,
Ranjit?
it's conservatives being conservatives, right? They'll find a way to shoot themselves in the foot as they're winning. So I mean, I don't think Patrick Brown was winning. Maybe
No.
he had a chance, but you nailed it. The way the Conservative Party, the leadership, or the head of the party, fucking mishandled this and bungled this is
Yeah.
so bad. They've basically made a mockery of themselves. They now have basically a two-horse race, but it really is, PP in the clear lead now, and it's his race to lose. Um, one might even say that this worked out in Patrick's favor, only to save him the embarrassment of losing a PP badly. Now he has this to blame.
Yeah.
Um, but it's fucking crazy that this has happened. And
It's
to Patrick of all people, who who's getting hammered at city
like,
council.
well, city council. Didn't this just happen to him a few years ago with Douglas?
Yes, yes,
And when he lost the leadership there,
yeah.
man, I mean,
Maybe he should just
talk
keep a
about
low profile.
battle scars and talking about some wars. But yeah, the lawyer he hired was the defense attorney for Jian Gomeshi, I believe.
Yeah,
Uh,
Gomeshi.
Gomeshi. But uh, I'm sure she's very intelligent, but she looks like a villain out of Harry Potter. She looks like one of the. She's just a scary looking lady, and it's like that supply teacher walks in, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, this lady's gonna yell at." She looks mean, right? So I'm like, man, he got a good lawyer. That's who I would pick. So, but are they gonna really be able to do anything? I mean, what's your opinion on that, Ranjit? Is there anything there that they can really go after the party, considering it is such a private process? And I guess there's no.
I mean, he could make the argument that you know he wasn't given due process. Um,
From the Law and Order Party.
yeah, but look, it's a private organization.
Private organization.
If
Yeah.
they didn't follow their own bylaws, then that's a whole other separate issue. But yeah, he could make that argument. He should have been given due process, that he's owed it. It's a big position
Can he
that he's
sue?
going for.
Is there precedence
Maybe.
for him to actually make some money out of this? Because he will. He did last time. Was CBC?
Is it a settlement?
CTV. He sued
Well,
one of the.
CTV. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
settlement
yeah.
CTV,
with
right?
CTV.
That was different. That was different. That was different. That's actual. There's, this is different. I don't know if you can claim damages from suing a political party or an organization for kicking you out of their election.
But but surely her as a prominent lawyer, or at least a famous one now, wouldn't take it on if there wasn't any
Well, sometimes you just
likelihood.
hire a famous lawyer just to show that you mean business, and
I
in the
see. Okay.
optics of it, because
Yeah.
that's the point that you've driven across. Like
Yeah.
your case in point, you saw him retain her.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Marie.
Marie Heenan.
Hinin,
Heenan.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you instantly think that he means business, and he's
Yeah.
got a top-rated lawyer. He probably just could have just paid her to say I'm retaining you and not actually do anything.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Scare tactic.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I had two thoughts on this. One, is this just chickens coming to roost for Patrick Brown? Because when he was a leader and he was like the guy, there were a lot of people mad at him for fixing elections and fixing campaigns against him. One of the most prominent ones was Vikram Singh out of Hamilton, where he said, Brown didn't like the fact that he was winning that election and he rigged the vote against him. Uh, and I think they later settled all their differences aside. But it's one of those, he was using his power to decide which way the party went. And now is the party kind of repaying the favor towards Patrick, saying, "Hey, we realize you might have a lot of votes, but we got you." So is it just chickens come to roost? So that's one set of thoughts there. The other is deja vu. This guy was on top as Premier of Ontario.
Yeah.
This random CTV thing just hits on a Sunday night, and all of a sudden the party holds a phone call without him on the line, decide we're gonna vote you out, vote him out, finally get him on the call. He doesn't say he's on the call. Here's everyone talking shit about him before he's like, buddies, I'm here. And then they're like, who, what? Nah, we didn't mean it like that. But yeah, anyways, buddy, you're out. Peace. Is it just like, at what point is it just bad luck? And at what point is it, holy smokes, how many enemies does this guy have?
I mean, regardless, I still think it falls on what the hell's the party thinking? And if that's the way they're going to do business, I mean, someone dropped the ball. It doesn't matter, if he's right or even if let's say it was a conspiracy to get him out. Surely they could have handled it better. That's all I see. I don't see anything else, man. For me, I'm like, I don't even care what he did or what he doesn't do. I mean, politics is, I think we can all agree, pretty dirty anyways. It's been corrupt forever, especially in the early stages, not in the actual election, but in these private party, I guess, elections where you're nominating nominees, and that's all a gray area, if you will. It has always been, but for the party to do this so publicly, yeah, man, what were they thinking? I'm flabbergasted at the fact that oh yeah, you're out, and he's like, well, I wasn't told, and
Well, all roads do lead to Patrick Brown likely suing. Like they do it this way, he's suing, or he's making big fuss, kicking and screaming on the way out. They give him a sit down, say, look, you can either throw your support behind Patty or Sheree or
yeah,
whoever you want.
yeah,
And he does. That's the only way out. And he says,
exactly.
I'm bowing out. I'm going to support my buddy. Or he's told, look, we got you dead to rights. Resign. And he's like, F that. I'm going to make sure that nobody wins and I'm going to take you all to court. And if
Which
he's
he's
bitter
done,
about it, he
which
could.
he's doing that now anyways.
Yeah.
But if you told them, hey man, this is going to save you the embarrassment. We do
Yeah.
have this, and we are going to proceed with this, and it could potentially ruin your future political career. We're giving you an out not only to save your face, but to save the face of the party. Here's the solution. But it seems like it's all a shit show, and it's a circus, and
Add shit to the fire, I guess, because it is a shit show.
yeah, man.
Did you guys
Yeah,
see
shit show.
the fact that when they started investigating who the whistleblower is, this Debbie chick, she's a conservative grandma, and then she hadn't scrubbed her socials before going public that she's the whistleblower, and people are coming across her tweets and Facebook messages where she's like pro Pierre, talking about which candidates she doesn't like and how to get rid of them, and how she basically comes across as a
My
gun for
God.
hire for the party, and that let me know
Oh my
who you guys
God.
want out, I'll do it. And they found these social media posts that she posted publicly. The media's
Conservative
picked
Party of
up on
Canada.
this,
Yeah.
right? Um, at what point does that just holy smokes? You guys have this smoking gun of a witness who also ends up being someone who's openly tweeted and posted about wanting to remove candidates on your behalf.
They have a witness with no credibility, right?
Hmm.
Who's completely shot her
I'm
credibility.
I'm wondering what PP's whole view of
Oh.
this is, or if he has a hand in it. It'd be interesting, right? He has an
It's
active hand in this.
it's a weird world we live in, man. But I've said this when the leadership race got announced, that conservative leadership races are one of the most fun things and greatest spectacles on earth, because they literally eat each other alive, and then at the end of the day, they hug it out and say, "Well, at least you're not liberal."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Conservative. So
Um,
when's the election? 2 years?
yeah, it's still 2 years from now, so they got time to really dig their grave. They've
Thanks for
only
the contact. Thanks for the contact, guys.
oh man. All right, finally in closing, I don't know if you guys saw this video. Alberta Stampede, the Stampede Calgary Stampede's going on. I don't know if this is the first time ever, but we have now a Sikh float. which is Sings on Horses participating in the parade. Have you guys seen this thing?
I saw a little bit on Twitter. I saw it's a procession, right? There's people on horses, and then you had some float in the middle. I didn't know what it represented. I think was it Darbar Sahib it was trying to represent? I couldn't tell from the
I didn't
video.
see the Barca one, but I saw the Sings on the Horses coming
Yeah.
in. They had
No,
got
there was an actual float, and they got float of the
okay,
year, I think, did they?
yeah,
They
Or
got
the
float of the
float of
year.
the the float.
Yeah,
Float
and
of the
then
Stampede or whatever.
float of Stampede, sorry, and then I think there was dancers behind them.
Uh,
Um, cool. Yeah, I mean, doesn't
I mean,
cool. I don't. I mean, what
Yellowstone,
else?
the Yellowstone vibe was pretty cool. Seeing like a bunch of things on horses leading in. It's kind of
I
cool,
mean,
actually.
that is Stampede, right? So
I
it's
know,
kind of
but I was,
I like the
I'm a
fact that
city
we're now
slicker. Who
part of it.
cares?
I'm kind of down that we're part of it. We
we should
have
be
like this
part of it. Yeah.
we have this rich I don't know what equestrian culture within our home.
Let's call it riding culture because we're not really jumping over little fences
No,
and
but
puddles.
equestrian is referring to horses. Like a horse culture is equestrian culture, right? Um, uh, and I've seen these things. There's from Edmonton, I believe. I don't know if you saw the video of them. They were like taking their horses around, and these guys own their horses, I believe, and they ride them regularly. And then they did a clip of them riding it through a A&W, grabbing a veggie burger.
Mm.
That's
Uh,
hilarious. No, I didn't see that.
oh yeah, so yeah, these guys are pretty badass too. I'll send you some of their clips, but I'm I feel like this
You guys don't
generation
have
is really
a.
bringing along back or bringing those riding traditions back to kind of the youth. Like it's something that's a little bit more feasible or attainable for people these days.
What, to ride a horse?
No, to own horses, to bring back our riding culture, to learn
I
it
don't think it's
properly.
feasible. I do not think it's feasible to own a horse. Who's owning horses?
Well,
Unless
these
you
things
like
in
have $10
Edmonton
million
have.
and you invest them to
Yeah, it's
provide them for
just
the
you know how
fund.
much stables and upkeep
Yeah,
costs, bro.
yeah.
Have you
No,
not watched Yellowstone?
I'm saying now that there are more people
No, they
than
can rent.
previously.
You can rent a horse. That's probably more feasible than it was before. But to buy and have stables, and I don't think it's as common as
I think
you
it's
might
more.
think it is.
I don't think it's common, but I think there is things coming in and doing it now that weren't doing it prior, and I think it's a trend that we'll see to rise both in Ontario and
Unless you have a
Alberta.
farm, unless you have your own farm that you live on, where you can take care of your horse yourself, I don't think it's feasible to buy like a 200K animal and pay, what, 5 grand, 6 grand a month
Months
in,
upkeep. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, like stable fees and shit like that.
How much are you making, Shinda? You think that's feasible?
So when I say feasible, I say it's something that we're seeing come back now. We're seeing this
I
culture
think
of Sings owning horses and
You're
so. I
saying
would.
farms on
go
I
farms.
no. I
G-Wagon
think
money
you're
on
talking
an
about the
animal.
act. I think you're talking about the act of riding a horse.
Riding a horse, but these guys are owning the horses that they're riding. They're,
Possibly. I mean, fine. I
and I
mean,
think I
sure.
don't think that was a thing that was anyone. Like growing up, I didn't know anyone who had a farm who had horses and was riding and keeping like as if it was India where they had horses. Seeing that happen now here, I'm thinking, wow, these guys are actually open to bringing those traditions here and bringing that back and making that a bit more normative. And even if it is just 6 guys so far, that's six more than I remember growing up with.
No, no. I mean, fair enough. Look, if you can afford it, sure. It's just, I mean, feasible is a. I think that's the wrong term.
All right, hey, fair enough. Maybe not feasible, but I'm starting to see this. I'm starting to
Yeah,
see the beginning of maybe a trend that hopefully
It would
keeps
definitely
going.
be cool. It would definitely be cool, though. I agree.
yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I want to see
I need
more.
to share these clips with you. I'll show you the clips of these guys, and like, all right, these guys are pretty badass.
And
Fair
they
enough.
own them, for a bona fide fact that they are the owners of these horses.
I mean, they're posting like millions of clips of them riding their horses all around. They have have their horses named, and
Oh wow,
I'm
really?
I'm assuming
Oh,
that means they own the horse. I didn't ask to see their papers. I haven't seen their documentation on the horse, right? But from
yeah,
what
fair
I'm
enough.
observing, it seems like these are their horses. It's
Man,
not
I mean,
just
look, if that's the new wave, man, I wish someday I'm there and I can buy one too. Put it that way. Yeah, I can't picture it right now, but man, I wish I get there.
So like 60, 70 grand on a horse.
Just trying to get the
Really?
400 horse in a Porsche, but yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind buying one horse. Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, I'll send you guys these clips. These guys are awesome. Any closing thoughts, man?
No.
I feel
Oh,
like
man.
we compressed a lot of random shit today. We should try to do this, and we didn't cover like. Actually, no, we hit all our normal talks. We mentioned people.
Hey
We
man,
should do
I
a-
had my average of 2 glitches a podcast today, so that occurred. Ranjit even had a glitch
Randy
today.
had a few too. This is
Yeah,
insane.
man, we're on a roll today.
Actually,
Telling
one
you.
was on purpose. My kid was freaking out, wanted to see if that was being handled.
This guy just turns the podcast. Hey, yo!
Get
Kids
the
crying.
kid. I'll do my podcast. Mom! Mom!
Mom,
Where's my meatloaf?
I'm recording a pod. Yeah. Oh, we suck.
But what we would say perote, right? That would be our equivalent in our thing. Mom,
Oh,
perote.
yeah. Bonder of the week.
Perote, get there.
I'll let you guys nominate Bonder of the week. We got.
I don't think we have a bundle this week.
CPC party.
Sure
We talked about so
Yeah.
many bonders, but just pick one.
that-
Real estate uncles making TikToks.
no, R. Kelly. Give it to R. Kelly.
Oh, Mr.
You
I'm
got,
going to jail.
he's going to jail.
Been
now,
in jail
so
for a long
it's a
time.
long time, buddy.
Hold on, what did he get arrested for? Rape or? It wasn't peeing on
Lo-
people. This was
No, he's
sex
there's a
with a
lot.
minor. Oh, is
There's
that
a
a big
lot.
rap sheet?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it's
You know when
not-
you know when they got a Netflix documentary about the things you did.
It's
It's a wrap.
Oh wow, I haven't even watched this. I remember. Yeah, I remember there was this R. Kelly Netflix. I started watching. I watched. Hold on. So I did watch Doctor Strange. I just don't care about the Marvel universe right now. Doesn't do anything for me. Started watching Finding Anna on Netflix.
Okay.
Kind of interesting.
And that's so bored he's going into the foreign film section now.
No, Finding Anna. It's like it was trending on Netflix. My wife started watching it, and I jumped in like mid-season, like the last 2 or 3 episodes I watched. I'm like, oh, this show is interesting. Fuck. What else did I watch this? Yeah, I think that's it. I also realized how shitty my attention span is. I just don't. I still want to watch The Boys. I need to go back and watch The Boys.
Finished it. Great job. They've done a great job with that show.
Shout out to Seth Rogen.
Was Seth
Which is
Rogen
the
involved
producer.
in it? What?
He's the executive producer.
I had no idea Seth Rogen was a producer of The Boys.
I just learned that now too.
That's pretty dope. Let's see, what else was I watching that was cool? I watched something that I thought was interesting, but so interesting that holy smokes, I have no brain. This is amazing.
Right, Scarecrow. Anyways, on that final
On
thought,
that note, let's call it a night, boys. It's late.
it is a late night. Have a great week, everybody. Be
Have a
safe.
great week. We'll be back sometime next week, hopefully,
Peace.
possibly.
Peace. Bye bye.